shadows where the stories rise. Gangsta's paradise where truth never lies. Tune in deep, feel the drama unfold. Real life tales, bold and untold. In the shadows where the stories rise. Gangsta's paradise where truth never lies. Tune in deep, feel the drama unfold. Real life tales.
An alleged member of a South Florida drug trafficking organization known as the Miami Boys has been arrested in Nassau County on a warrant out of Duval County. The arrest made Sunday. The Nassau County Sheriff's Office says Nathaniel James was arrested during a traffic stop on US 1. His arrest comes after an investigation by the DEA. Authorities believe that James was delivering cocaine and fentanyl to Jackson.
What up, though, fam? Hope y'all having a blessed day. We're back with another episode of Gangsta's Paradise, where I drop these cautionary tales. If you're new here, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up to keep growing our Gangsta's Paradise community. Hey, check out my online store for the fresh What Up Doe t-shirts and more. This stylish tee features a bold black square design with eye-catching white and red lettering, making it a perfect statement piece for casual outings or lounging at home. Pair it with your favorite jeans or shorts for a laid-back vibe. Now, let's dive into today's topic. Bo Didley from the Miami Boys just got jammed up. Man, it's hard to see someone at his age facing these tribulations. It's reminiscent of Big Ed Hansen. Like I said before, the media blew these guys up. But listen, I'm not here to bash him. This is a cautionary tale. Getting caught up at 60 plus could be a death sentence in terms of freedom. Life doesn't play, and even legends can find themselves in tough spots. So let's check out this article right here. And this is coming from the Didley News. And this is on April the 3rd, which was recent. And the headline reads, Nassau County Sheriff's Office arrests alleged member of 1980s Miami Boys drug organization. Let's read some of this article right here. The Nassau County Sheriff's Office has arrested Nathaniel Jones on an out-of-county warrant from Duval County. James, also known as Bo Didley and Bo Didley, is allegedly associated with the original drug trafficking organization known as the Miami Boys, which first emerged in the 1980s and operated throughout Florida and Georgia, where they allegedly played a significant role in illicit drug distribution. This arrest stems from an investigation initiated by the DEA in October 2023. The investigation established probable cause that James was involved in trafficking fentanyl, 28 grams or more, and cocaine, 200 grams or more. According to authorities, the investigation began after James allegedly sold narcotics to a confidential source in Duval County. Go down a little bit. This is the part I wanted to focus in right here. This is the bad part. James has an extensive criminal record. So you start building up that track record, and that's what you start to be known as. James has an extensive criminal history, including a 1991 arrest for conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute crack cocaine. In December 1991, he received a life sentence, which was later reduced to 408 months in May 2019, with 60 months of supervised release. And you can see he built up this criminal history, as they stated in this article. Clearly, they say he has an extensive criminal history, which puts you on the map with authorities, and plus, you're famous. You know, the media blew you up. Everybody know who the Miami Boys is. And particularly what was going on down in Atlanta too. The investigator reported that in October 2023, they received intelligence indicating James was traveling between Florida and Georgia, delivering cocaine and fentanyl to Jacksonville. A warrant for his arrest was issued on November the 15th, 2024. On March 30th, 2025, a Nassau County deputy located and apprehended James during a traffic stop on US Highway 1 in Callahan. So I just wanted to go over this article right here. You can see that's a picture of him. Older gentleman, 68 years old. Who remember the Cocaine Cowboys and Griselda and other dealers or kingpins or cartels that was down in Miami in the 80s. Miami was the place to go back then in the 80s. You can go down there and get plugged and get all the work you want down there. It was a hotbed for kingpins down there. Not only African American, plenty of Cubans, Colombians, different ethnic groups were doing it big down there in Miami. It turned that town out. It turned it into a war zone too, and I'm pretty sure these guys were plugged into all of that. So the 80s was just a hotbed. Crack was introduced to the market, and that sort of took off in place of just powder cocaine. The heroin business started dying down. Heroin been in effect for 50, 60 years, probably more. I'm sure it's more. But the 80s was just a hotbed, and these guys became those guys during that time period. And just like Big Ed, like many of us will say that he reached his peak. He got jammed up. He in there right now, 60 plus years old. That's a hard road to follow right there when you get jammed up like that and you're looking at significant time. Who remember the drug mule? That guy got jammed up. He was 90-some years old. He only got like 2 or 3 years in jail, in prison. But as soon as he got out of there, he passed away. But he was a big-time drug mule working directly with the cartels. And he got flapped and got jammed up. So my point is, you can get old and get jammed up. Guys, we still out there hustling. We like to say it's all the young people. But got some old heads out there be moving around too. I know when I go places, people call me OG, Unc, and all that type stuff. I'm not involved in that game, but the young people call me that. Do you think that this guy is beyond his peak? We can clearly see at 68 years old, but who knows? And most of us who listen to these podcast platforms talk about cautionary street tales, and we say it in various ways, and some people just intrigued by the lifestyle. But for those who had some type of experience in the streets, we can clearly see what's going on here. It's not hard to figure out. This guy has built up a reputation for being a hustler. And that's one of the down things I think about the streets. Once you start running the streets and you build up this street reputation, that's all people gonna look at you as. And you look at the type of community you're dealing with, it's basically people in the underworld. So you devoid of regular society. That's how the law look at this stuff, You devoid of regular society. You start building up this track record. Even said in the article, you have an extensive criminal history. So they know that you're affiliating yourself with some type of drugs or something. And then when his name came up, they probably was more than happy to get this guy. Like I said, the track record. And again, we go back to the track record. Once you start going to jail and going to prison, and it's all about drugs, they pretty sure when you get out of there, you're going to go back around that type of environment. It got to be around drugs and that type of thing. That's just how the law look at it. And fentanyl is one of those dangerous drugs. Like, people be dying from that stuff. So it's a serious issue. I know Gangsta Boo from 3 6 Mafia, she died from using fentanyl, and many people think that somebody slipped that to her. I believe Prince died from fentanyl. So this is some dangerous stuff. You can go on the streets and get the stuff they getting, how they mixing it up, and that makes it very dangerous. But what is fentanyl? Fentanyl is a prescription opioid used to treat moderate to severe pain, but it can be misused, abused, and cause overdose deaths when obtained illegally. Fentanyl is a synthetic opioid medicine that is up to 100 times stronger than other opioids like morphine, heroin, or oxycodone. Fentanyl is from the class of medicines called narcotics analgesics. So that's what fentanyl is. It's way stronger than heroin. Like I say, heroin is like a street version to opioids. It's much like crack. They put a lot of ingredients to water down the strength of the opioid. In the heart of Miami, the notorious Miami boys were making waves in the drug trade. This loose-knit group of African-American suppliers and dealers turned the streets into a battleground for power and profit in the early 1980s. Known as the Untouchables, they expanded their reach, with Atlanta feeling the impact by 1986, where the price of cocaine soared threefold, pushing out local competition. As the gang spread to Jacksonville, Florida, they entrenched themselves in the crack and heroin scene until the last dealer, Michael Delancey, was captured in 1999. The crackdown in Atlanta ahead of the 1996 Summer Olympics marked the decline of their empire. Meanwhile, the legendary Bo Didley, at 68, reflects on a life interwoven with allure and addiction. In this game, retirement seems like a fantasy, and the thirst for power remains unquenchable. Stay tuned for more episodes from GP. This story is far from over. Don't forget to visit the Plug In Global online store and hit that like button. Stay blessed, fam.